Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sunil Rajguru, editor of PC Quest and your host for today's live webinar. A warm welcome to you all and thank you for joining us for our discussion around infuse automation and analytical power into your planning workflows. For the duration of the presentation, you'll be able to listen to what our panelists have to share with us. After the presentation, we will have a question and answer session. Your feedback is very important for us. So do share your views with us at the end of the webinar. So on to the webinar. So the first thing which I want to discuss is the state of the country today, the state of the globe today. As all of you know, we are in we are in a COVID-19 crisis. So we are in a COVID-19 crisis. But we must remember that instead of getting despondent, that with every crisis comes opportunity. So I am Sunil Rajguru once again. So I head PC Quest magazine and CIOL. And at the end of the webinar, if you want to get in touch with me, you can do so. So the first thing I would say is like again, like for example, Tony Robbins said that in every crisis lies the opportunity, right? And it is not just about luck. We have to prepare our opportunities, and we have to anticipate it. It is only then that we will be able to go forward. So now the first theme I would like to say is that whenever there's a crisis, there is always technological acceleration. Okay, so so whenever, for the biggest example is when we had World War II, while it was such a horrific war, the thing that we have to note is that a lot of technological acceleration took place. So for example, you think that the first computer was ENIAC, but there is a precursor to ENIAC, and that's called colossal computer, the Colossus computer. And that came because the British, they took on the brute force of the Germans, and they indulged in such code cracking that cryptography serves us to this present day. And we also had things like rocketry. I mean, the entire World War II rocketry project was taken, and that's how we got NASA, and that's how we got jet planes, and that's how we got atomic energy. In fact, the rocketry project led to satellite TV, to GPS, and everything else. And we are seeing exactly the same thing here. So, for example, COVID-19 is already strengthening the work from home culture. Now, the WFH culture has been around for 15, 20 years, but it has only been supersized now. Similarly, collaboration tools have been around for more than 10 years, but we are really using them to a great extent now. And finally, even the mobile workforce is mushrooming. We will be able to do anything through the mobile. So another thing which is like getting supersized is no touch technologies. You know, like the Internet of Things, Industry 4.0, drones and connected cars. So when, say, after 10 years, when we look back, we will look at this time not as a time of crisis, but as a time of technological acceleration. Now, we have to remember that whatever changes, one thing won't change, that data will continue to remain the new oil. Data will continue to be paramount. The data explosion will continue. In fact, there are so many data centers that nobody even knows how many data centers we have. We have millions of data centers. We have cloud operations, devices, everything is getting onto the data center. We used to have hyperscale data centers which were 10,000 square feet and which had thousands of servers. They were a novelty 5-10 years back, but today we have more than 500 of them. Similarly, for the upper limit for the IoT devices that is projected is 500 billion. Now, if there are 500 billion, you can imagine the amount of data that will be there in this world. Which brings us to the fact that whoever can analyze the data will rule. Data analytics will thrive. The most important thing is you have to crunch the data. You have to understand the data. Only then will you be able to forecast it. All this will help with business continuity planning. So that's just my brief introduction, and I want to tell you that like we should not be despondent in this crisis, but we have to upgrade ourselves and use all the tools that are available for us. That is the only way forward. So now it is my pleasure to introduce Prasanna Hatkar, Senior Technology Head, IBM Business Analytics Algorithms Technologies, to share his insights. Over to you, Prasanna.
Hey, thank you, Sunil. Yeah, thank you, Sunil, for the introduction and setting up such a nice context for this webinar. So, hello, everybody. This is Prasanna Hatkar from Algorisys, and I welcome you for this webinar. Webinar is more on the analytic front, more on the business analytics front, and I will be discussing few of the important and few of the relevant business points with you. So let me just show my screen, present my screen to you, and then we will start off. Hope my screen is visible to everyone. So let's start off. Infuse automation and analytical power into your planning workflows. This is the webinar title. So before we actually get started, let me introduce Algorisys Technologies as a IBM partner, IBM business partner, and it is for the business analytics portfolio. Right. So as an Algorisys, we are a technology agnostic company, and our core team is around 20 plus years of consulting and implementation in experience, and we are expertise in Cognos and planning analytics, which is under IBM portfolio. So today in this particular webinar, what we are going to discuss is rather how organization today can make use of analytical power, and they can automate their planning workflows. So this will help them basically to set up the targets, reviewing their goals, correcting their forecasts. So all those benefits they could receive from this particular technology, you can say, or the analytical platform, you can say, right? So let's start and let's begin with the webinar. Let's discuss agenda first. So this webinar has a quite a clear agenda of we will discuss briefly the performance management and how it is helping business to take the right decisions at right time. Secondly, our focus will be at the automating planning and forecasting processes. So these exercises, every organization does these exercises. Many of them are doing some manually, some using spreadsheets, but can we really automate these planning and forecasting, to gain some proper insights from your business data, and your strategy can be designed accordingly. While discussing that, we will also discuss and have a look at the best forecasting approaches for related topic. Rather, we will actually look at the product, and we will see how the forecast can be implemented and how it can be benefited for the organization. Yes, power of analytics, and we are in search of right solution to your overall implement and automate your planning exercise, your planning processes and workflows. So this is all about the agenda for this particular webinar. Let me take you through the next page, which is performance management. Performance management, basically, it's a process of ensuring that organization meet their goals in effective and efficient manner. So it is all about setting up your goals, monitoring your goals frequently, reviewing them, and analyzing your business as it progresses, and then come up with planning and estimations. So these are few key stages of the performance management. Ultimate objective is always to improve decision making. So that is how any organization will grow, they will progress, right? So to understand this performance management as a concept, we have three set of questions which will help us review and understand the concept of performance management. So in which the first question is how. Management would like to look at their KPIs and metrics and understand how are they performing. So typically they use metrics to represent the performance, and this performance can be easily identified by the traffic light signals. So we are aware of this kind of a scenario. If the performance is not as per the mark, we can mark it with the red, and if performance is good, we can mark it as a green. But how we will compare those performances? So for that, you need to set goals initially, and against those goals, I am going frequently reviewing my actual performance. So this is the first step where I would like to actually understand where I stand at which stage with the help of question how and the metrics with the color coding. Next is the question why, and this question will actually require to understand the reason behind my performance. So basically, if let's say in a particular region, if for a particular product, the sale is not up to the mark, then probably the management and the product line managers, they would like to understand the reason behind it. How can they do that? For that, they require a very good set of data, historical data, actual data, so that they can analyze that data. For that, they require certain mechanism that which can provide them a detailed level of reporting. So why is answering what are the different root cause for this particular performance. So if I'm doing good, yes, then why I'm doing good. If I'm doing bad, then why I'm doing bad. So this is the first two questions to understand and analyze where we actually stand and what are the reasons behind it. Once you are clear with your business understanding, probably this is the right time, then you can think about what to do now. So at this point, definitely organization will be in a better positions. Maybe business planning team is in a better position to do a planning, right? So they can plan for the future. They can use the forecasting, planning, or AOP, budgeting techniques, whichever is suitable for their organization. So these are three set of questions by which these are three steps which we should follow to understand how we are performing, why we are performing, and what we should do next. Yes, we require some analytical platform to support this kind of a functionality. So this to implement this performance management. So let's go and check how entire organization can use this analytical tool to benefit themselves, right? So these are few key players who will work as an unit. They might be representing different functions like marketing, sales, operations, finance, and they have their own initiatives and own priorities to work on. So they would like to analyze their part of data. They would like to understand their part of happening in a market, right? So let's have a look at each individual, how they can interactively use the analytical platform to gain their required sort of information. So business manager here can be interested to understand what are the different metrics and scorecards involved in her part of business. Same time, the line manager can think of, I am the product manager and I will be more focused towards a particular product line, and I would like to review some dashboards and analyze that dashboard. So this could be a frequent requirement of the line manager who would like to understand what is happening to his product line, at what month, at what period it is performing, how. So at that point of time, once you understand what sort of analytical dashboard you have, what sort of process or what sort of progress you are performing, right, you would definitely like to understand more detailed level, right? So at that time you would like to drill down to some detailed level of reporting where MIS reporting might help you, right? So there should be a pathway to pass on your high level information to understand more detailed level of information. So in this task, PI professionals may help the product line manager, right? So these are all predefined sort of reporting and analytical requirement. But at sometimes, at a given point in time, many executives may get certain ad hoc sort of queries, right? So they would like to use that as a self-service platform, right? So if you have something called a self-service platform where you can ad hocly identify, create your own reports, create your own dashboards and analyze them to arrive at certain insights. So all entire organization at the different role, entire all the functions, they as per their objective, they are all the time searching for the insights. So once you have those insights in place, probably this is the right time for the business planning team or the finance team to actually initiate your planning and forecasting activities, right? So this is all about how the entire organization can use analytical platform and get the benefits. So you require a cognitive analytics and as well as planning analytics. So let's have a look at why planning analytics is required. Right. So why planning analytics is required? So this may be the familiar scenario at your end. Do you conduct spreadsheet-based manual planning exercise as of now? If the answer is yes, maybe you are facing this kind of challenges, like longer planning cycles, difficulties in maintaining business versions. Spreadsheets are always overloaded, right? The difficulties to integrate and control multiple source files. So all these spreadsheet related issues, those who are working on, they will easily understand how difficulties they are facing. So loading actual is another major task or activity for the business users. So actuals are always required in a planning and budgeting scenarios for two things. One is if you would like to have your variance analysis against your budget and target numbers. And secondly, if at all you would like to forecast it, you would like to introduce your actual data as the month progress or as the periodically the process progress. So actual data is also very important, and usually it is stored in different ERP systems or maybe in some RDBMSs, and from there those data, those heavy sets of data at the very granular level, how it is very difficult for the business user to bring in those data without IT intervention. Apart from that, reporting and visualization has to go through the longer IT process. That means if I have a requirement of creating some report on the fly, very immediately, very urgently, either I have to sit with the IT person, explain him the requirement, then the IT professional will go and create his own coding, create his own report and dashboard, then again a validation. Instead of that, I would have, if I would have got some easy way, that would have been better thing, right? After performing all those challenges, even after that, collecting input from all the organizational functions and contributors, even after that, there are certain challenges like inappropriate forecast and unjustifiable targets. So to overcome all this, what if you have automated smarter planning solution, right, which will help you resolve many of these problems? Scenario-based analysis for foresights. When I said what if, yes, what if analysis is also included in that, so that the business can get the foresights. Rather, they can key in the numbers, they can change the driver and actually see the impact of the driver in the future period. So all those things can easily be managed, right, in if you use any planning and a planning sort of platform. So real-time results and easier version comparison, if you get, that will be helpful, right? The quicker data analysis at different levels and views and selections. Use data repository. By the time you're working on the budgeting system, last 5 years of data, 10 years of data, you would like to understand the trends of those data. So you need to have that sort of repository with you, which will easily help you to analyze the data. Then ultimately the final thing is user friendliness, that has to be there, right? So what if we have these kind of features and we will explore those features, right? So for that we have something for you from the IBM platform, that is IBM Planning Analytics, a tool which will comprise all this, which will give you the solution for all these challenges and actually give you more than your expectation. So at this point of time, there will be a poll. You just have to give answer in yes or no, right? This you can give your opinion in that, and accordingly we will continue to the next part of it. So as of now, we have discussed about the performance management. We have discussed why planning analytics is important, and we have discussed how business analytics platform can help business users to achieve their goals. Yes. So what are your planning and forecasting objectives? So you might be using some sort of planning methodology in your organization that is obviously suitable to your industry, suitable to your business, right? But you are performing those planning activities. So do you feel any of these highlighted planning use cases you are also using? For example, the rolling forecast, for example, the profitability performance management, for example, the scorecards and scenario analysis, predictive forecast, what if analysis. So a lot of such use cases are easily be available and can easily be built or configured in planning analytics. You don't worry about the business verticals, industries, almost all it is across the industries. The functionalities can easily be configured in the planning analytics. Rather we have a different user interfaces also available in the IBM planning analytics. If you are doing revenue planning, if you are doing cost of goods sales, costing planning, right, capex, opex, overhead plans, advertising and promotions, profitability statements, cash flow management, all the entire set of planning management is available over here, right? So it's all about configuring it as per your need. So let me tell you, unlike any ERP application, this particular product or IBM Planning Analytics is not a predefined set of applications. Rather, it is a customizable applications. So it has those framework which will help you to write your business logic, and you can actually model your requirement as per your organization's processes. So you need not to worry about the aligning your business to the tools functionality, but rather tool will align your business functionalities, right? So it's a single platform which can provide wide range of planning solutions. And let's get into the actual IBM planning analytics functionalities and features, right? So you can observe here, there is a dashboard sort of screen which is represented here. This is a dashboard created with the modern sort of visualization objects, and those visualizations will definitely give you insights, right? But there is a difference between a typical dashboard and the dashboard created by using IBM Planning Analytics. So this particular dashboard is very much interactive dashboard where you can actually filter out and drag and drop and do your own analysis. Rather than that, it has the write back capability. What I mean by write back, let's assume if you have a planning related data with you, and planning data, you have a drivers which will actually control and derive your planning processes and planning goals. You can go and change your numbers, rather drivers, which will actually show you the changes and the impact of those drivers on the other elements. So these dashboards are interactive and dynamic. You can straight away change your numbers and see the result immediately, right? So this is the beauty of this workspace which is available along with IBM Planning Analytics. As a tool, it has greater features. Technically, it is very sound tool which has the large historical future-oriented data sets capability. Because of in-memory architecture it is directly proportionate to kind of the speed which you will get, right? And it has that OLAP kind of a inbuilt mechanism which is nothing but a multi-dimensionality. so that you can view your business by different dimensions. What I mean by dimensions, if at all you would like to look at your data by customer perspective, by product perspective, or by time variant perspective, it is easily possible, because the mechanism, the repository or the data storage mechanism is on the OLAP based, which is in nature a multi-dimensional, right? So it has very special sort of algorithms which will help it store larger data and with the lightning fast speed. Importantly, this is the owned by business concept. So what I mean by owned by business? Typically, any system is driven by IT in IT team, right? So because there are a lot of administrative tasks, there are a lot of configurations are required. Once we have initial configuration, this sort of uh, business planning architecture can be easily controlled and managed and enhanced by business users. That is the beauty of it. So business user with their they have right understanding of their dimensions, their business, so they can actually work on it very easily. They can change the business rules, they can manage it, and everything comes along with the proper security level, right? So this is very good tool. When you compare this, it has the full range of reporting, dashboarding, and self-service mechanism, and easy to maintain planning models, right? So drive collaboration. What I mean by drive collaboration, uh, in any organization, see, if you see the overall planning process is actually controlled and managed by a central corporate finance team, or maybe the planning team, or maybe the MIS team, right? So those teams will distribute many templates to the business users, to different functions, to different individuals, and they are supposed to submit it back to the central team. At that time, it's a bottom-up planning, right? So at that time, there are many discrepancies are identified, formats are not correct, files are cumbersome, and this becomes a consolidation headache for the central processing team or central planning team. But if you at all, there is a workflow based mechanism which can easily manage and control centrally, everybody will get the simple and straightforward web based forms which they have to fill in and submit. So accordingly they can drive the collaboration, and everybody can contribute to the planning process, and finally at the top level it can be reviewed and controlled properly. Yes, it has many advanced planning forecasting related modeling features, like capacity, driver planning, representative, performance, cost allocations very easily. So it has got that strong engine, right? So it's a complete package for the planning and its associated analytics. Yes, so there are a few more capabilities to summarize, like AI infused planning. So there are modern things like cognitive analytics and natural language processing power of analytics, right? So you can actually write in a simple English text, and you can the system will automatically suggest what sort of analysis you're looking for. So those new and modern features are infused in this. Superior scale of growing business. Yes, business are continuously changing. There are different business parameters which we see due to different market conditions. Those things are changing. New business are adding, new products are adding. So a lot of things are changing dynamically. You cannot have a single holistic system which will which will continue for the next 5 years, right? You have to keep on updating your data and your configurations and your business rules, right? So those things can easily be managed. So agility in modeling your business is available over here. A functionality boost for the spreadsheet. This is very interesting topic. Almost every organization has invested in Microsoft Excel, but yes, those investments will be utilized with the help of IBM Planning Analytics, because it has that specific add-in available. Collaboration, just now we have spoken about the collaboration. Yes, entire organization can collaboratively create their own plans, and at the top management level, at the reviewing level, it can be easily reviewed and controlled. One-step shop, yeah, this is the one-stop shop is IBM has entire portfolio available, and it has the flexible deployment options. So for IBM Planning Analytics, the two options are available, cloud-based as well as on-premises. So it's the choice is yours. You can select any of the option out of these. So these are a few other key characteristics of the planning platform, where you can easily manage top-down and bottom-up plans, workflows based on collaboration, review and submissions. Yes, maker-checker kind of architecture is available, and you can always verify what data you are getting, and you can always validate and confirm your data, the budgeted data mainly. Integrated plans, easy consolidations, and comments and chat within the group are also available, so that you need not to rely on third-party emails or anything. There and there itself, you can comment on any of the form, and you can keep on discussing on that front, right? So sharing content is also easy. You can actually share your content. You can download it in PPT format, PDF format, and so on, right? Interactive dashboards, obviously you can change the drivers, and you can actually see the impact of the change in driver on your business data. Self-service analysis, yes, this is the very important feature. Business users themselves can create their own analysis, their own model, right? And obviously, since this is a single repository, IBM Planning Analytics in a multi-dimensional architecture, it the data which is reviewed by different people is exactly the same. That is why it is a single version of truth. The same data is referred and reported by entire organization by different functions. Yes, I was talking about the business perspective. Let's have a look at this particular flow chart over here. It represents that we are trying to create a revenue planning model where you require two inputs at the high level. One is volume, another is price. So how we can build such model, right? So we can have a volume as a cube. IBM Planning Analytics stores a data in a multi-dimensional format, in a cubical format, right? So these cubes can be easily imported and populated from the source data. The source data may be any statistical data, or maybe any APO kind of tool can provide the demand volume, and that can be imported into the planning very easily with the help of TI process, which is turbo integrated process, small form of extract, transform, and loading. So ETL facility is available. Also, you can connect to your Excel and CSV related data files. So you can bring in price from your Excel or CSV file, and then once you have the volume and price cubes populated, you can actually write business rule to multiply them and get your net sales, gross sales, and so on. So this sort of model can easily be actually enhanced, built by business owners. That is the objective of this particular slide. Next, yes, the final and this analytical platform that leverages your comfort on familiar Excel interface. So we are not taking your Excel comfort away, rather it will be enhanced, right? And if at all, if any organization would like to extend their visualization and business intelligence implementations, then Cognos Analytics also can be easily extended and seamlessly integrated with your IBM Planning Analytics. So this is all about the presentation for the initial phase to give you the overview of the system. And now we will move on to the actually the demo part. But at that point, there will be a poll where again you have to give your opinion to the poll question, which will be available to you in yes and no format, right? So give me a moment. Let me just go to the actually the tool where we can actually discuss and view the different aspects of product. So while this gets populated, let me just set up initial full screen for you so that it will be visible very easily. Right. So I hope everybody can visualize comfortably this IBM Planning Analytics tool on your respective screens, right? So this particular screen is the landing page for IBM Planning Analytics. Very simple to understand. Initially, you can see there is IBM Planning Analytics, Speed, Agility, and Foresight, its slogan. Then there is some administration option available. Then you have login person's name available, something called welcome, which is the different windows which we have opened. It will represent that. At the left hand side, there is something called a folders, shared folders, personal folders, and users. So shared is something which is available for the public, and personal is something which is available only for the user who is using it. So you can notice when I clicked on the personal, there are only 3 folders available. Those folders are relevant to me, and the shared folder is relevant to entire team of or the organization, right? So these boxes here are represented as book or folder. Again, you can have a subfolders like here the modeling and visualization workshop is one of the folder where you can collect your different books, right? So this is the hierarchical folder system which IBM Planning Analytics maintains. So let's go to one of the important uh, presentation here, which I'm picking one book out of these books, which is named as a CFO book. So ideally, the CFO book uh, is prepared only for the CFO, right? And this book will, let me just open it. Yeah, so it is available, right? So this is specific to the CFO's requirement. So CFO of any organization can would like to understand his part of KPIs on a periodic basis. So here, if you notice, the first page is saying dashboard. Dashboard is nothing but an overview dashboard, which will give him the overview of entire organization. There is a gross margin, there is a cost sales, marketing, net profit. These are the key KPIs he would like to review on a frequently basis. So it is highlighted, right? And below there is a geographical representation. There is a map available, and the darker color you can consider the higher density value, and the lighter color is the less dense value. There is one line chart available at the right hand side, which is a comparative chart for the actual budget and forecast. So this is for this particular screen. Now, importantly, if you can see these boxes over here, one of this box is year 2020, another box is version, right? So what is there in a version box? Version may contain versions like budget, variances, and all. So let's go and just click on one of the box over here. So currently year 2020 is selected. Now I'm just selecting 2019. Right. So as I select the 2019, the entire chart or graph will change its appearance which will refer to the 2019 data. Right. So the values are getting changed. Similarly, if you notice over here, there are certain tabs values available here: strategic plan, overview, financials. So what are these things? So these are the as a CFO, he would like to understand about entire organization for each and every function. So all the KPIs are distributed among these tabs. So it's a function wise, right? So for example, if we start initially with the strategic plan, there will be a strategic map available to you, which will represent few values in a green color and few values in a red color. So overall, you understand the green means majority of the KPIs or majority of the section majority of the sections are available uh, in green light, right? So the thing is, if you observe particular red related KPIs, example, this is a gross profitability annuity, right? So this represented in a gray, red. It depends on the gross revenue, it depends on the reduced expenses, but the gross revenue, which was supposed to be performing well, but it is not. So it actually the reason behind the performance of the gross profitability. So likewise, you can easily identify, and strategy map can easily guide how the KPIs are mapped and how you can uh, understand your performance. So let's have a look at the financials. In the financials, you can see there are set of KPIs which are related to the financials: gross profit, gross margin, salary. Here there are two columns again represented with the traffic light signals, which are the status and trend. So status may compare your actual performance against your budget, and trend may be comparing your actual performance of the current month with the previous period. So this is how it will represent and how we are performing. You can easily identify. Similarly, there will be a set of marketing KPIs. Similarly, there will be a set of human resource KPIs. So all are distributed as per the functions. So this particular book is actually designed by expert or admin level business user who can actually create such books and distribute to the users as per their responsibility and the role, right? Now finally we'll just look at the overview where you can identify they have actually tried to build a balanced scorecard concept where there are financial perspective, customer perspective, and internal process perspective. So these scorecarding options are also available in this particular tool. So we had looked at the CFO book for his specialized work. Likewise, we can create multiple books. So let's go back to the welcome page again so that we can create something new, right? So as I will create a new book for you, right? I'm clicking on that new button and clicking on the book. So accordingly, new book is open for me, right? There is a sheet one already mentioned. You can add on the multiple sheets like this so that different analysis can be stored and restored in different sheets, right? At the left hand side, you can see there are few databases available. So out of which I will show you the select the SmartCo database and we will see what are the content inside. So under SmartCo, you can identify the applications, cubes, and dimensions and processes. So these are the planning analytics related objects which will be helpful to create a model, right? We will pick up one of the cube to just to identify. I'll just expand it so that you can see the available list of cubes. So here you can see the allocation calculation, asset life, uh, capital, then depreciation, employee. So entire financial or operational processes can be captured in these cubes, right? So these are the multiple cubes which are already created as a model, right? So let's create some view in front of you so that you will get some idea how it works, right? So the idea here is we want to understand what are the cubes. So I have already created one demo cube for you. Before that, I'll just open this expenses final cube where the cubes is a set of dimension and it can be viewed in a different ways, right? So I can just click on the default and can select add new. So I have created a new view with on the basis of available cube. So to observe here, I can just drag this and expand this particular window, right? Why I call this as a cube is because it has 4 dimensions. You can observe here organization, version, months, accounts. So these are the 4 dimensions, and the combination of these 4 dimensions will represent a cell of data, right? So data is represented by the combination of different dimensions, and it resides inside the cube, right? So this particular cube tells us about the account dimension, which has currently few salary, bonus, and few line items available for us. And then you have the months in a column. In organization drop down, this is actually what we can call is this as a dimension. It's an organizational hierarchy of total company and region wise how it is distributed. So total company, below that West region, below that California as the organization's company name, right? So this is how it is structured. Now this cube can be easily change its views. So for example, if I change this versions and put it over months, right? So I'm dragging versions and dropping on the months. You can see the view of this particular screen is quickly changed, and now you have now you have versions in the columns. Initially it was months. Similarly, you can change rows to columns and columns to rows. You can also select, currently it is selected for Jan. You can also select the values for the March, right? Okay, so this is how you can actually analyze, slice and dice and filter out your data with the help of cube. Let's see how we can actually create use one more cube to input the data, so that we will understand how we can input the data into the cube. So let me go to the views of the demo cube where there is no data available initially, and we are going to input the data into that populated data in that particular view. So there is no view created, so I can add new view to it. So it is right from the scratch, right? So data is so let me just select few lines over here. So out of total expenses, what I will do is I will select the bonus, then I will select from the month. Rather from the month, what I'll do is I'll bring those months in the columns. Okay, so right now where we are going to input the data, the bonus, budget, and at the different months. From the months, since those months are representing in Q1, Q2, Q3, I want to input data for in months only. So I'm changing the subset of that month dimension. So here I can only represent it with purely the leaf level of or the last level of months. So only months are represented. Time being, we are not using those quarters. So quarters are always there, but we are not using it. Right? So at this point of time, let's assume we want to input some data into it. Right? So I'm inputting one sort of data. I have put 10 and the greater than sign and press enter. So it indicates that I want to enter the data across that record, right? So for the California, for all the months I have inputted the 10. Then similarly, I can perform the activities over here, right? So this is how we can actually input. But let's say I need to, increase the data from April. So there is some shortcut keys which can help you increase your data from April, right? So these sort of shortcut keys will help business user to input the data very quickly and come across, right? So this is how you will actually create and use your own views and utilize it. So quickly, let me go to the one more book which is readily available. I have kept ready for you. This will tell you the story of forecast, which is predefined model, right? The forecast is what? Forecast is reviewing your budgets or reviewing targets on month basis, right? So here, if you notice, there are 3 lines available actual, budget, and forecast. So actuals are available, budgets is available, and forecast is available. So there is certain month which you have to select. So that means here it is selected the July month. That means the data up to June is your actual data, and post that you have to forecast it, right? So for that you can select appropriate method. So there are multiple methods available, or you can configure your own methods for business to select, or from the best on the basis of these methods you can actually populate your forecast quickly. So I have selected now remaining month forecast method, which actually indicates that whatever is the performance of my previous actual months, I have to meet my target of budget for the full year, and accordingly the remaining months will actually adjust the data. Right. So this is how forecasting can be performed. So let me just quickly go to the Excel part of it, right? Okay, so now I'm just opening one Excel. So this is the Excel interface which I want to showcase you very quickly. You can see there are multiple tabs as usual as in Excel. Here there is IBM Planning Analytics, which is the additional tab which is available. You need to connect it by selecting the appropriate server, and then you can actually select the your database. So once you select your database, it will populate that database for you. See the left hand side, the same cubes, set of cubes are available here. So I can just go quickly to income statement, and I will just open my required view in Excel format, right? So if I click on this and click on the quick report on this sheet, it will give me the export of available cube data. So this is as simple as a copy paste. It was copied from, it has copied from particular server, and it is pasted into the Excel. So you can actually utilize your Excel skills now to use, format as you want, because this is your report now. Data is disconnected from the server, but there is one more option which is available. Let me just quickly show you that option also. Right, so this option is a dynamic report. Dynamic report will actually populate the data of the same cube in a similar manner, but there is one special thing over here. If you notice here, if I click on one of the cell, there is some formula represented over here. So that means this formula actually picks up the value from the data planning analytics server and paste and refer it in the Excel. So you can actually pull the data, and you can actually write back the data to the server from Excel interface. So idea is the data is secured and safe at the server, but the interface which you are using is the Excel interface. So with that, I will just conclude with my demo part, and let's get back to the poll question now. So I think this will be the final poll question which is available, and I have done with all my presentation. So now we can actually go and carry over. We can start our question answer session. So if anybody has any questions, we can definitely address.
Yeah, Prasanna, thank you for those
Hi.
thoughtful
Yeah.
insights. So I think we're just almost out of time. So maybe we can just have one quick question. Like maybe you can
Okay.
combine a couple of questions. So who all can benefit from the planning analytics app that you mentioned, and how can
Mhm.
that be accessed?
Okay, good. So, as I mentioned in my presentation also, planning analytics can be useful for those who are actually working in the planning process. For each and every department who are planning their, who are involved in the planning process, then for each and every industry who would like to plan their budgeting and forecasting part. So this is for everyone who are actually involved in a planning process. And rather, how to access that? Yes, you have different devices with the help of which you can actually have it. Nowadays, it's possible to access using mobile also. So you have a workspace which I have just shown. You can make use of Excel interface. You can also make use of a simple web-based uh, contributor sort of mechanism. So there are many interfaces as per the requirement it can utilize. So there are certain facilities like workflows, which is very much helpful for the bottom up planning. So people might use that also. So this is for everyone, and there are many options which are available for the usage. Right.
Okay, so maybe we can take like one more question, some questions
Yeah. Yeah.
related to Excel, because people are still
Yeah.
comfortable with Excel. So is it
Correct.
possible like with Excel to function smoothly and all in this thing that you have mentioned?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, in Excel, yes, as I mentioned earlier, the what we can utilize is the security and control of IBM Planning Analytics as a server end, but at the user level, we can also have the Excel, so that they are as if they are working in Excel. They can use their Excel skills as if they are using normally, but the data is very much secured at the server level. So that is the beauty of IBM Planning Analytics. So people can easily even write back data from Excel to the server. So this is how it works. It's not just for the reporting, but also for the writing back.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one more question came in. Is a top-down approach possible for planning? And how does that
Yes.
work?
Yes. Yes. As I said earlier, also for the bottom up, there is a workflow mechanism available that different divisions or different individuals can contribute their part of number, and those can be reviewed at the top level. But top down is also possible for only for the top down. How it will happen is there is a feature called a breakback, where the business users or higher management can give their targets at the high level, and those targets can easily break back, or you can allocate as per your drivers. So but for that you require a good amount of historical data with you, so that the top down will come very um, top down will actually work out very well.
And one more question, maybe, how is the actual data processed? How is the actual, process of process happen?
Okay. I got from yeah. So basically, IBM Planning Analytics has the capability to actually connect to any sort of RDBMS, any sort of CSV file, Excel files, or if the connectors are available, it can also connect to the your ERP data, right? The typical and well-known ERP data connectors are available, so you can directly connect to those data bases and bring in the data into IBM Planning Analytics. So this is with the help of turbo integrated, as I said earlier, which is nothing but a form of ETL, which can actually connect and bring in data in required format, right? So this is how it can work out, and it is
Okay.
very easy.
Okay. So I
Yeah,
think now we are totally out of time. So
yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
Prasanna, thank you once again. So with that, we conclude this webinar. And
Yeah.
on behalf of PC Quest and Algorithms Technologies, I would like to thank all our participants for finding
Yeah,
time to
sure.
come here. And we hope you found it useful. So,
Right.
and of course, now don't forget to fill in the feedback form, which you'll receive soon. So, anyway, everyone, have a great evening.
Yeah. Thank you. For any sort of query, you can definitely connect us with the given numbers.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.